Big good morning to you. I hope you're having a fantastic Sunday, whatever you might be doing. Now, our next guest is an accomplished author, a legend in fishing, both nationally and internationally. He's done the hard yards and well recognised wherever he goes. And of course, he also has that ability for people to take note when he talks. People listen. Which is a rarity these days, but he holds his head high when we talk about him, of course, because his name is Steve Starlo Starling. Good morning to you, Starlo. How are you?
Good morning, mate. Great to have a chat with you.
Mate, absolutely. I haven't seen you for a little while, but mate, it's always lovely to have a talk when we do catch up to you. How's life treating you in the southern end of the country?
Yeah, look, it's been a very cold winter down here. It's been the longest. I don't know whether it's just selective memory, but it's been the longest and coldest winter that I can remember. But spring has finally sprung, and yeah, it's good. Everything's coming to life down here, including me.
Well, this is the thing. The southern areas there too. You know, it does get quite cool, but when it starts to warm up, so does the fishing. And at the moment, the Yellowfin Tuna fishery is phenomenal, and you've been quoted to saying that it's the best you've seen in decades, and we're talking like 50 years. Mate, what has brought on this influx of yellowfin tuna along the east coast, southeast coast of Australia at the moment?
Yeah, look, it'd be really nice to have a definitive answer on that. I suspect it's just about it's just about the currents, I think, and a pool of water that's come in. It's not especially hot water, but it's certainly warmer than we would expect at this time of the year. We've got sort of 17, 18 degree water out there, and quite often we'd be expecting more like sort of 15 at this time of the year. But it's obviously come from somewhere up north and out in the Pacific, this pool of water and the massive amount of yellowfin tuna that are in it. You've only got to look at the photos of these tuna that are being caught at the moment, and they're big, long sickles on them, the second dorsal and anal fin that go back and make those distinctive sickles. And they are so long, even on 30 and 40 kilo fish. And that's something that I notice on photos from, say, Fiji or Vanuatu or Tonga or whatever. I think it's a tropical substrain of yellowfin, and I reckon we've got a big pod of them out here at the front at the moment, stretching all the way from the Victorian border up to about Ulladulla or even further north. So yeah, a lot of them.
It's a good thing to see that, you know, particularly when we look at the bluefin tuna fishery, how it's becoming a lot more protected these days to keep that ginormous fish up to 1,000 pounds or more, you know, protected with the amount of fish that can be taken for the market. Is that something that we could see on the yellowfin, or is that something that is, you know, given what we're seeing at the moment, there's definitely enough fish out there to be sustainable?
Yeah, again, it's hard to know, you know, how many are out there, but we've been worried, of course, about yellowfin, and through my lifetime, I've seen big changes in the dynamics of the yellowfin tuna population. I was fortunate enough to fish for them around Montague Island and some of the inshore grounds back in the 80s and 90s when those really big fish were prolific, you know, up to 90 kilos, even up to 100 kilos, and then that fishery, that inshore fishery, basically disappeared by the end of the 1990s, and I think they were overfished by both the commercial sector and the recreational sector, and it was almost like they were a different strain of yellowfin as well. And since then, there's still been plenty in good years out on the deeper water along the edge of the continental shelf. It's varied very much from one year to the next, quite cyclic, but this current run is something I've never seen in my lifetime, which is abundant numbers of mid-sized to quite large yellowfin. These are fish from sort of 30 kilos up to about 70 kilos, riding close. Some of them are only a couple of 100 metres offshore. I'm just waiting for someone to hook one off a beach or a headland around here. They're coming in that close. So, yeah, it just fishing just constantly changes, and we've definitely seen changes to the pattern of currents down this part of the world. The East Australian current tends to run harder and longer for more of the year down here than it used to. And you're seeing things like, you know, the King George whiting and stuff that have turned up in Tasmania, and the kingies down there and all that sort of thing. And the kingy fishing in Victoria, which has been amazing the last couple of years. So, yeah, things are definitely changing. I think there's plenty of fish out there if we're willing to look after them, and we've just got to be careful not to allow unsustainable catches by either recreational or commercial fishers of any species.
Yeah, and this is the thing, you know, when you look at the amount of fish out there at the moment, is that you don't want people going out there and catching, say, a 70-kilo barrel. And then getting another and another and another, because they get, and you know as well as I do, that you can get that hype, you get that blood adrenaline running through you, and we know to let fish go. We know how to care for fish. But when you get a fish of that size and you think, oh, I've got Jeremy, he's a mate of mine, oh, he's family, and then the Timmy wants a fish, and next minute you've got fish on the deck of your boat. What do you do with a fish that's, say, 100, 150 pound? We're not talking like a standard whiting fillet is going to fillet this fish up. And how much food you get off that one fish is enough to feed, you know, the whole neighbourhood, let alone taking more than one.
Yeah, spot on. I think people can get a bit of a rush of blood, and they put that first 50-kilo tuna on the deck, and then they're still busting up around them, so they throw the stick bait out again and they hook another one. And what are you going to do with that? Well, my suggestion is don't even remove it from the water. Get it to the side of the boat, get a couple of shots of it in the water, grab your pliers and pull the lure out and let it go, because you've already got enough fish on the deck to feed the whole street. So, you're going to have to process all that stuff when you get back in too, and that's going to be you into the night bagging up tuna and putting it in the fridge and everything else. So think about that stuff in advance.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. People can be a little bit more, ethical about understanding what to do when they catch these fish. Speaking of catching them, they're popping up everywhere. What sort of rigs are we running there, Steve? Are we running stuff like a stick bait, like the Shimano Osha stick baits, or is it more of a live bait, or as you would know back in the day, we would cube? Is cubing still done now, or do you more just chuck out a livey?
Yeah, it's funny you should ask. People, cubing or strip baiting is kind of a forgotten technique. But
it is, isn't it? Is that showing us our age been shown here, mate?
It is showing our age, mate. But those who've tried it on this current run have caught fish almost straight away doing it, so that works too. But the two major techniques just seem to be trolling to find them if you don't see them on the surface or whatever first. So big deep divers and even skirts and things like that. But then a lot of them are being caught casting, as you say, those big Shimano Osha stick baits and things like that on your heavy spin tackle, your big spinning gear. That's such an exciting way to catch these fish, because you get to see them explode on the lure. I'll tell you what I'd be doing after I put that 50-kilo one on the deck and brain spiked it and bled it to bring it home and eat it. I'd be taking the hooks off my stick bait and casting it and just watching those enormous explosions on the stick bait. And I'll tell you what, they'll clamp on it tight enough to pull some line off against your drag before they spit it out. So you get all the excitement of the surface strike without the back-breaking 45 minutes to an hour that follows.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it is a lot of fun, mate. I really appreciate your time there, because I know you're always out fishing. You and your lovely wife love to get out there and do things together, which is amazing. You can jump on to your website as well, Fishotopia. Is that correct, if I'm right there?
Yeah, fishotopia.com. That'll link you up to a lot of the stuff we're doing. But all my effort these days is basically going into my YouTube channel, Starlo Gets Real. And I just put it, in fact, I put my latest one up about 15 minutes ago, a bass fishing episode. If people would like to jump on there and have a look at Starlo Gets Real. I'm loving the whole YouTube journey. It's my modern way of storytelling now that there aren't too many magazines around and no one seems to read books anymore.
If they read some of the stuff there and had a look at those magazines, because they're all coffee table looking mags, but the knowledge that you impart through to readership, and if while you're having a coffee, it's good to sit down and actually have a look and flick through the pages. So they're always good to see. But you've got a ton of subscribers on there, over 33,000, which is amazing. Starlo Gets Real, and I love the chest cam set up there too, mate. You're donning it well, should I say?
Thanks, mate.
Good on you, buddy. Thanks, Steve. I'll talk to you soon, mate. All the best to you and the family.
Tight line.
Thank you.
See ya.
Cheers, buddy. That's Steve Starling. Starlo, everyone passionately knows him as. Absolute legend in fishing, and he is the walking encyclopedia to fishing. Okay, that guy, when he talks, he is just so enthusiastic and very, very knowledgeable. He's spot on. You're listening up to Step Outside with Paul Burt right here on Brisbane's 882 4BC.